And the wait for Project Hail Mary might be over, but the conversation's just getting started. Thank you for joining us here at Parking Lot Takes. That's Mr. Clark. I'm Mr. Taylor. Ooh. But if you're our wives, we're daddy. You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Or you're Batman. Niche reference. Only my wife and you will understand that.
Have you seen the Drake meme where it's like, you know, like
that's dabbing.
It's calling daddy. I'm Batman.
Heck yeah.
That's pretty sick.
All right, we're going to talk about Project Hail Mary.
Oh, yes, we are. I'm very excited to talk about this movie.
Sweet. It's out. It's been out.
It's been out. People have seen it.
New news real quick. I think I have stuff. I have a few things before we review Project Hail Mary. Mm-hmm. But first of all, we forgot about it last episode. Well, more importantly, we had a technical mishap and it got cut out of what was supposed to be the last episode.
Yes.
Not the Spider-Man, but the Oscars episode.
The Oscars episode.
But the Spider-Man episode we filmed independently. Mm-hmm. We were on a podcast.
We were.
The pod you're looking for.
Great guys.
We want to shout them out and talk and hype that up. They're awesome. They worked very hard. Yes. I felt like on questions and segments, prep, which was like really refreshing.
It was
and
a
really
lot of fun.
Cool. Very fun.
We had a blast.
So I want to shout them out. Go check out our episode and consider subscribing to them. And if you're not subscribing to us and you hate our takes, come on.
More's on the way.
This
More
is
awful takes.
Below average takes in hot parking lots.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope I'm a parking lot. Do you think I'm hot?
I don't know. What? I didn't even hear what you said. I just defaulted to what? To get you to say it again.
Answered my question for me. It's okay.
And I responded what? And then, do you think I'm hot? Rang hard in my brain. Do I think you're hot?
Yes.
I do.
I know.
I do. Yeah.
You have called me boner alert a couple times. So.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. I know. Your rectum is 2 inches wider because of that reason.
Oh, wow. That's crazy that you said that. I love how earlier.
Because I was having sex with you.
Yeah. I love how early you said the worst thing. What else did you want to talk about?
Gay sex is what I'm talking about.
That's what you're implying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's consensual. It's beautiful, and we make love. It's not just sex, Christian. We make love.
we are. Oh, dude, I gotta hang on. I'm sorry, we're off track. In college.
Oh gosh, where's this going?
Roommate, this is so cringy. He was a weird guy, but he. So tell me real quick, what do you think hooked up means? What does hooked up mean to you?
You had sex.
Really?
You slept over, yeah.
So some people don't think that though. Because the term we just hooked up is a thing. Like we just hooked up. We didn't sleep together. We just hooked up.
Oh.
Which can be just like we just made out.
That's not how I perceive it as we just hooked up.
I did too, but
we
they're
don't have a relationship.
Exactly, but they're different like people have different definitions for it. It's like a pretty big spectrum of whatever.
Yeah.
So this girl he was telling me, he's like, yeah, this girl I had relations with, she's here and I would really like to pursue her. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Would you guys date? And he's like, no, we hooked up. And I was like, what's that mean? Like hook up, like context, like did you guys, how far? Not really, but I'm just like, what does that really mean?
Yeah.
And he was like, we made love. And I I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, that's why people just say hooked up. I got it.
It makes sense.
Makes sense.
Because we're not going to say
makes sense.
And then you said, what's your definition of made love?
Hooked up and make love sound better than like I pounded for 30 seconds and cried. So,
are you saying that from experience?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think it was a little longer than that. Yeah, it was a little longer than that. I remember. I counted. I counted the palms.
Yeah. Have you heard this dilemma about? We're gonna review Project Hail Mary. We're gonna do it.
It's gonna happen. Yep. Coming up here soon.
Have you heard this?
Like me. Earlier.
Whoa. Have you heard the GOAT question? I got posed to me yesterday. It's
LeBron is the GOAT. Yes.
No.
Answer question.
No, I mean no, not that question.
Oh, okay. Tom Cruise is the GOAT. Yes. Different GOAT question.
Who's the best you think Travis Scott's the best rapper?
No.
No? He's not the GOAT?
I don't think he's the GOAT. No.
Oh, who's the GOAT?
Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar's GOAT.
Yeah.
Travis Scott's up there, but he's not the GOAT.
Gotcha. What was I going to say, Brandon? Gosh dang it. I had a thought. Frick.
Have you heard the GOAT question?
The GOAT question, yeah. I got this question posed to me the other day, which was, if you had to choose between these two things, and it's you sleep with a goat, but nobody knows, or you don't sleep with a goat, and everybody thinks you did, what would you choose? And I was like, I'm not sleeping with the goat. Like, they can think that. That's fine. I like, maybe that's like a self-confidence I have. But then they pointed out something very real, which was your wife believes it. And I was like, oh, well, that is different.
Oh, that's
so would you rather give venereal bestiality STD disease to your wife or have her never touch you again?
Oh, I was not ready for this.
I know, it's a deep question. And that's you know what? I guess you got
a third
for me,
scenario.
The right story?
The answer C. Whatever the third option is. I'm going to take the third option.
Is two goats.
Same time.
Same time. Double team, yeah. Yeah.
D. Option D.
D. Well,
we know what that one is. Option F.
F. Gosh. Yep. F. Yep.
What's the next letter in the alphabet?
I don't know. G.
No.
G is the next one, yeah. G-spot.
Well, then I'm enjoying it. I'm just kidding.
Well, no, you're hitting the goats.
Give me a good bleep.
No, so that was it. They said so we went through the whole thing, and there's another question we asked, which was like, how much money would here's a genuine question right here. How much money would you have to receive to never eat a sandwich ever again?
Ooh.
How much money?
To never eat, so is that including hamburgers?
Yeah.
Never again?
By technical definition of sandwich.
Holy cow.
So that's technically
10 million.
I said a similar number.
I think 10 million.
Not 200K?
No.
500K?
No.
1 million.
I wouldn't take $1 million.
Yeah. So
I'd start thinking at about 5.
Right. Well,
because
my low is 1 million. And the reason is because 1 million invested with the earnings, you could potentially hire a private chef and he could just make all of your meals for you.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I was like, well, that number is enticing.
I'm thinking at 5 million, safe investment.
Lifestyle change.
I'm taking a 5% draw. I could easily do that off 5 million and live a comfortable life. Right. So 5 million, I would be like, dang. But 10 million, it would be like, I'd be like, done. So
my thought is like, you potentially could hire somebody to come out and make food for you, and then you might,
burgers like my favorite food.
I agree.
So it would take a lot.
Like find a burger equivalent.
Yeah.
But you want to hear the loophole?
What's the loophole?
In this conversation, I don't think a stromboli roll counts as a sandwich, but it is very much a sandwich because it is just ingredients encased in uncooked bread that goes in the oven.
Yes.
So
cut that bad boy in half, and
my favorite sandwich is a stromboli roll. Well, yes, I guess you wouldn't call it stromboli because stromboli is specific, but build your own roll with Philly cheesesteak inside. So it's Philly cheesesteak encased in pizza dough. Pretty legit.
If I could keep hamburgers and it was all other sandwiches,
I would do it too.
I'd do it way lower.
Right. So
give me 100K and I'd probably stop.
So
I don't care that much about.
The person who asked me the goat question asked me the sandwich question, and they were like,
"Wow, wildly different."
They
questions.
were like, I could not like get rid of sandwiches, and I was like, okay, you either have to have sex with a goat or you have to give up sandwiches. And his response was in 0.5 seconds, that'll be the best minute of this ghost's life. In which the response to that was, you will only take a minute. What? That means you quite enjoyed this goat.
Wow.
Yeah. But then he said, no, however long it takes. And I said, wow, it goat screams the entire time. everyone in that village in Nepal
they all knows
something's going down. And you have to walk back to that village. And they're like, oh, that guy was up there with that goat.
Oh. Best minute of that goat's life is crazy.
Yep. Guy likes his sandwiches.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of sandwiches. Sorry.
Yeah. So that means you wouldn't have sex with a goat for $10 million.
No.
Good man.
No amount of money.
What amount of money?
No,
let's play the game. We're playing the game now.
I mean, 250 million maybe.
Oh my God. Just assigning any number, it makes it gross. Like it's just like
you know what? I'm good.
Yeah.
They'd offer it. I'd say no.
I know. Sorry. Yeah. People offered a lot less, like getting blackmailed.
True.
So,
what's your number? What would you take to F a goat?
There's a thought. I think what would happen is like you would think about it and be like, yeah, I could do it for that number. And then as you get ready, you would think, my life is fine the way it is, and I don't need to F this goat. Like, I don't have to do this. This is not a requirement. In some way, regardless of the money, I am choosing to do this.
This is not life and death question.
I know.
Is my wife going to die or not?
It's like I have chosen.
Do I want generational wealth?
I have agreed to do this.
For a payout.
My thing was like, so this person, he's like, oh, I would only take this amount of money. And I was cracking up because I'm like, buddy, what if you like become really successful though, and you gave up sandwiches for like $100,000 and now you're a multimillionaire, but you can never eat a sandwich ever again.
I mean, I guess in that scenario,
like the number has to be wild because like, I don't know, maybe I'm really optimistic in our chances, but like 100K wouldn't move that needle for me personally. I would be like, no, I believe I'll be successful enough for that to, you know.
And the earning potential for that through hard work is very achievable. Yeah. So that number would have to be pretty astronomical.
Yeah.
That's why the $5 million mark is like, I know I wouldn't have to work again. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would probably still want to, but I know that I'm set for life.
Oh wait, not 500K. It's $2,500 if you're pulling out 5%.
250? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. 250K. Yeah. Which is very comfortable. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm just kidding. I guess depending on your spending habits.
All right, Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary. Do we want to score this?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not.
Oh, real quick. Thank you to IMAX for sending me a little package.
Oh, that's so sick.
They sent me a few goodies. But I just wanted to say that was pretty cool.
Shout out.
Because I read that book 2 years ago.
It's your little IMAX card.
Yep.
That's pretty cool that they sent that to you.
Yeah. I read that book 2 years ago and was really excited about the movie after I read the book. So, pretty special.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to get into spoilers yet, but I've got a question for you.
All right.
Because you have read the book.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lot of stuff posed for that.
Oh. Because there's some moments in the movie where I'm like, if I was reading this, it would blow my mind. Like, oh. All right.
Yeah. So, all right. How out of 10? Well, how do you want to phrase it?
Yeah, I'm done.
How many?
Do it for the clip.
Out of 10, how many thumbs downs are you giving Project Hail Mary?
I'm giving it 8 thumbs down.
Nice.
I thought it was great.
I'm also 8 thumbs down.
8 thumbs down too. Yeah. I didn't know if maybe I really had no idea what your sentiment was. All I saw was the fact that you had the package, and I was like, that's cool, but it seems like you really liked it. And I thought maybe it would be a little bit higher than 8, but
no.
But I feel like that makes sense.
I think the movie got a little overhyped.
Really? You think so?
A tad, yeah, because it got called the next Interstellar.
That's fair. That's really fair.
And while I didn't because the book, so when people were saying this movie is going to be the next Interstellar, I am like, they probably have never read the book and they don't know the story whatsoever. And they don't know there's a lot of humor involved and it's very lighthearted. And it just can't, like, it won't have the gravitate, like it won't have the weight.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not going to have Cooper watching his kids age past him and he's missing all of his kids' lives.
I cry every time.
Like
every time.
It's not, this movie isn't going to have stakes like that.
It has emotional moments where I teared up. I'm not saying
it doesn't, but it's not going to have those stakes. Exactly. Like, and so it's not going to hit like Interstellar does in a massive way, which I think that being a proponent of it is massively why it's regarded as one of the best movies ever made. Mm-hmm. So saying that, I was pretty much like, no, it's not going to be the next.
You knew it wasn't because you
but I thought it could be a great sci-fi epic, like for sure.
I mean, I do see. Do you see though, kind of some of the some of the similarities to Interstellar? I mean, there is a lot of similarities to it as far as just world-ending event, the trek to find, like there is that, but it's very different in tone. But I did get some of the like Interstellar.
You mean like it's ripping off Interstellar?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Just said that
if somebody were to say like, oh, I see some similarities to an Interstellar, I would get that. But I don't know if it's fair to say it is the like next Interstellar.
Sure. So does Planet of the Apes.
It's like, I kind of looked at it as this is kind of. Project Hail Mary is just the E.T. version of Interstellar, right? If you threw in E.T. into Interstellar and had Cooper be more lighthearted and kind of fun playing around with an alien, like that's what this is essentially. And because the story has some similarities to Interstellar as far as just we need to save the planet, you know what I mean? Trekking out into the unknown to kind of find that journey there and back. So I understand if people were kind of saying like, oh, there's bits of Interstellar in this. You can kind of get that feeling, but no, it doesn't have the stake. It doesn't have the like, I don't mean this in a bad way. It doesn't have the depth that Interstellar has. It is a lot lighter and in tone and a lot more fun and more humorous, but I'm glad it was. That's a positive to it. I don't want another Interstellar. You know what I mean? Those movies are good. And if we got something similar, I'm not saying I wouldn't like it, but out of this one, you've got Ryan Gosling, you've got an alien, like, I wanted something very fun, and that's what it was.
So yeah, I'm conflicted, right? It's definitely not. I'm kind of shocked. I see a lot of 10 out of 10s, or the general sentiment is like it's one of the greatest. Like it's a 10 out of 10, perfect. I agree, it's a masterpiece, but probably from like a totally different angle. Like visually, Project Hail Mary is probably one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. Just the colors and the sets, and Rocky looks seamlessly perfect.
Puppet crazy.
Looks amazing. but then
incredible.
But then not.
Yes.
There's obviously points where I'm like, well, that's not a puppet. It's impossible.
Seamless.
And I don't I'm watching it thinking, I know that is not a puppet because that's impossible for a puppet, and I can't tell that it's CG.
Yes.
I have no idea how that like there's a level of it there. Right.
Yeah.
Where I'm like from a technical filmmaking standpoint, it just shots and colors and sets, the look and aesthetic of everything. I'm with you. 10 out of 10 masterpiece for sure. The reason I am at an 8 out of 10 for Project Hail Mary and not a 10 out of 10 is the pacing. I think the pacing, it has a massive pacing problem.
Yeah.
Like
I felt the runtime
really fast in the beginning, super quick.
Yep.
And then slows down, but you don't really care because it's the fun Rocky Grace relationship. But it does just like I felt this. I felt when the ship shows up, I felt we slammed on the brakes.
Yeah, I noticed it twice.
Yeah, and then you go through all of that, and it slows down exponentially.
Yeah.
And then it feels like it speeds up again, and then it slows down again, and then it speeds all the way through to the end.
Yeah.
But I really like the movie. I think it's very sweet and fun. But a big contributor, in my opinion, to I'll get into that later, but the pacing to me is just the most off. Like it's really quick and it slows down, and then then it's therefore like, what do you have 2 cents on that? Or
I mean, there was 2 points in the movie where I felt the pacing issue. And it wasn't in it really wasn't in like a negative, like, gosh, this is dragging so much. It was just like wow, wait, how long have I been in this theater? Like, I feel like I've been here a while. And then kind of towards the end, I remember leaning over to Audrey and saying like, wow, this is a long movie. Like I'm definitely feeling this runtime. And I don't mean it as negative as it sounds, but I definitely felt that it was slowing down a lot because it does pick up in moments. You're exactly right. But it kind of pulls you back in with like the Rocky and Grace relationship to where you're enjoying it as you're going. But anytime a movie kind of pulls you out to think about the runtime, it means it's not keeping your engagement enough to where you don't feel it.
Sure.
And that's how I felt with this one. It just pulled me out a couple times to notice it and look at my clock. Not because I wasn't having a good time. I was just feeling like I had been here for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, pacing is probably the biggest issue outside of pacing, I don't have a lot of other like negative things to really say. I mean, chemistry's great, visually stunning. Soundtrack is really, really good, really fun. The characters, I mean, I cared about a lot of the characters. I liked some of the story beats and some of the twists. It's all very well done and very well written. Ryan Gosling's perfect for that role, perfect to be that kind of buddy to the alien that is Rocky. So it's the perfect kind of chemistry between those two. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of other negatives per se.
I got one negative outside of that, which is the pacing, and it's a contributor to pacing. Someone who's read the book, I think you can only really have probably, from what I can tell and what I hear, you only really have this opinion, or you could only notice this if you've read the book, and that's the exposition dumps. And they stand out so much because the exposition dumps that are in this movie are things that like they figure out in the book
along the way. You're picking
Astrophage being fuel, like that, like the way Andy Rear writes Project Hail Mary is so incredible because it's like it is just teeing you up, like one after the other for the next thing, and like you're just there with Astrophage, and then oh my gosh, like we can't see through them, and then oh my gosh, here's how we can do this, we can do that, and you're learning, and when they figure out they can use it as fuel, like oh well then wait these solar systems, okay wait let's do a mission. That is like several like, well maybe not chapters, but just a lot of block of time in the book that they're figuring that stuff out.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the movie, it's like said to him in a conference. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to do this mission, this fuel.
Yes.
There we go.
We've discovered this and
the best example I have of like expedition dumps. Thank you. Thank you so much. The biggest example I have is exposition dumps throughout the movie compared to the book is just the opening of the movie compared to the book, which is in the movie, he gets up, looks out the window. He's like, oh, I'm in space. But in the book, he wakes up. He's like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, wow.
I can't see outside. Like, I don't know what is happening. I don't recognize my environment whatsoever. And he figures out he's in space because gravity's different. As he's like moving and walking and doing stuff. He's like, weird. He's like, this isn't Earth's gravity.
Yeah.
And that being, I just remember reading that and thinking, so clever.
Yeah.
Like, and I watched the movie and just can't help but think, why didn't you do that?
Yeah.
That's just more fun than just looking out a window. And Ryan Gosling,
he can do it.
He can do it. Like, just imagine he's like walking around like, where am I? Where am I? And he drops a pen or he drops something and he drops it again, and we as an audience are like, why are you doing that? And then boom, whiteboard, calculations, dropping, timing, and he goes, I'm not on Earth.
Yeah.
Like that just would be so fun to watch. I convinced me otherwise.
Yeah.
It's more fun than just looking out a window, and I get it.
How do they explain it in the book, though, why he wouldn't just look out a window and know that?
There wasn't one.
Oh, okay. There isn't one in the book.
At that point, like he just didn't
wherever he was at. Okay,
before he got to a window, he noticed gravity was different.
I see. That makes sense. Because I was thinking, like, naturally, you're on a ship, like you're in space. You're like, there's going to be windows, like you're going to be able to see out. But if he's contained, contained to like the cryo chamber, and he's trying to figure out where he's at. Right. And he makes that assumption.
So here's what it is. In the book, it's like the robots. Do you know how they're asking him questions in the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
They don't let him leave the room till he can answer the questions. That's what it was. So he's stuck in a room and he has no idea what's going on, and he can't answer. He can't get out.
He's disoriented and like, so, I like that.
So like, there's just so much. And then another point in the movie is like what happened to Rocky's crew. That's something revealed, and I don't know why.
It's revealed in the book?
Yes. I don't know why you can't reveal that through dialogue. Why can't you have them sitting there and have Grace say to Rocky something that we got to account for the radiation? And Rocky's like, radiation? What's that? And he's like, you don't know what radiation? No, tell me. And he like explains. He goes, we don't know this. We don't know what this is. And let that trigger what in Grace's mind be like, you didn't account for radiation and your crew died and you stayed where and like that. It's just better than just an saying it over the movie.
Yeah.
Rocky's crew died because they didn't discover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I let him discover it.
That to me solves some of the pacing problems.
Yeah.
That would solve that. And
it doesn't slow down with the exposition yet. Well, and we always credit it to like when you're writing a movie. Never written a movie before, but like when you're writing a movie and you as the audience are experiencing it with the main character as you go, there's another level of investment than exposition dumps, because when he discovers it and you discover it at the same time, you immediately feel that connection to the main character. So exposition dumps almost sometimes feel like the audience is too dumb to understand this. So we're just going to tell you. That way you can follow along.
Yeah, but
it's like, no, like just assume the audience is smart enough to figure it out with the main character. And if you've written it well enough and you've shown it well enough, we will figure it out.
Well, that's what it's like. I just feel like you don't even like.
It wouldn't be that hard.
An audience's ability to understand it in the expedition dump would mean they would be able to understand it if they just talked it through. Like
exactly.
Like it would be the same thing. Like I don't need them to read a control panel, us to read, and be like, we'll have to know in this
like calculate and figure it out.
That there's radiation, right? Like I don't need that to that extent.
You just don't have to like. We don't have to have our hand held all the time. Like
I agree,
we're
but I
invested.
think that's just more of the pacing problem. Is the exposition dump? Like I think that's more.
They always slow your movie down. So if you have too much exposition, it's everyone's always going to feel that. I mean, everybody says that. Like there's a lot of exposition dumps in this type of film or whatever. I'm not talking about just this movie, but like
it just gives it a little bit of thrill.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would feel like
the discovery pays off more. You feel the dopamine rush.
Right. And the movie could move the same pace. It's just you are doing more as an audience member because you're not just receiving information. Yes. You're figuring it out.
Show us, don't tell us.
With Grace or with Rocky.
Yes.
So that's just that. But that's what the book does. Just at a 12 out of 10. Like the book just is incredible, and it like all the things. I just remember reading the book, reading Project Hail Mary, and you're learning about astrophage, and then Grace does the experiment and they move at the speed of light. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, space travel, speed of light. That's something that they're going to do something with that. And they did. And just like, the book paid off like that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I want to preface something because I feel like we've been negative. We're giving it Project Hail Mary. I'm giving it 8 out of 10. You're giving it 8 out of 10.
I'm giving it 8 out of 10.
It's the strongest 8 out of 10 I can think of. Absolutely, to be honest. Yeah. I've gone back and forth. It's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like everything. If you had to I'd be like the pacing is the only thing dragging it down, and the exposition dumps to me apply to the pacing. Everything else is so strong.
Great. Visually, the chemistry, the characters, everything about it is so much fun. It's so funny. We haven't talked about that a whole lot, but it's hilarious. I mean, the banter obviously between Ryan Gosling and Rocky is the heart of all of that. It's so great. I mean, I've seen people who have it at like a 9. I would get it. If you just say, hey, it's just for me, I would completely get it. I mean, I understand like a 10 out of 10 if you were to say as well. Like
I don't understand a lot of them though.
It's just not that far from an 8. That I would be like, then if you said it's just my kind of movie, it's just my kind of 10 out of 10, I've got those movies in my, you know what I mean? It probably is an 8, but I think it's a 10. I don't think it's far-fetched to say that. I don't understand that, but I don't think it's like crazy to say.
Saying it like we had someone in our Discord be like, Project Hail Mary is the best movie of the year, and I genuinely feel like,
well, yeah, it is.
Will be.
Oh, will be.
And I think that's what it says.
That's tough.
And my thought there is like, I will be upset.
Oh, I would be upset too.
That's like, absolutely. Because I would hope Dune 3 is better than Project Hail Mary.
Dune 3, The Odyssey. We've got an Avengers
film. The Odyssey.
Film.
I don't think Avengers. I'm not putting
if Avengers is an 8 out of 10, I'm happy.
Well, but this is my take, is Avengers is an 8 out of 10, then I would probably think Project Hail Mary is better than 8 Avengers.
True. Yeah.
Sure. Because Spider-Man. Anyway, so that's for
best movie of the year.
I thought we were going to be aligned. I still feel the general sentiment. Like I know I've made a lot of content around it, but it has stuck with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the story. Like I just love it.
Yeah, it's.
And all of when they announced the Ryan Gosling casting for Project Hail Mary, there was so much anger and people being upset. And I'm like, y'all are stupid, dude. This guy's gonna cook.
It's perfect.
This is perfect.
He is perfect.
And it's amazing. He's so funny.
Oh, he's so good.
All right, spoilers. Boom.
Yes, spoilers.
What'd you think of the twist?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It's such a good twist. That's what I wanted to ask you about was I'll say my piece and then I'll do it. I'll pose it to you. I thought the twist was fantastic. I didn't see it coming whatsoever. I genuinely thought, I genuinely thought when the one scientist is, killed, that he was just going to step up. I mean, I know they were kind of setting up that he was unassuming and like really not on board with all this craziness, but I was like, he's going to step up. That's what anybody would do. So when he said, I'm not doing it, and they drugged him, put him in a coma, I was like, that's crazy because it changes the context of his conversations with Rocky when Rocky's like, wow, you're so brave. And he types brave in, but before he says dumb. And it's like, it's cool because he knows what Rocky's trying to say, saying you're really brave. But in his mind, he doesn't think that because he knows that he was just drugged and he was just put here. He doesn't at that point?
He learns at that moment. The moment you see it in the movie, he learns.
Oh, okay. So that was going to be another question I posed to you.
Interesting. You think he knew the whole time.
Because when Rocky says that, he hangs his head and he says dumb, and then he types brave in. He didn't look like someone who was like still trying to figure it out. That's just how I took it. So I was going to ask you that.
In the book, he doesn't know until that moment.
You might be right then.
Well, I don't know.
I was going to ask you, is he figuring it out?
Let me talk. Because I would say from the movie, I don't know that it's obvious.
I didn't think it was.
I don't know that it's obvious that no, I guess you could. Here's the problem with the movie. You could make the argument that he remembers pretty much everything.
I did make that argument.
Right. Yes. You think that.
My wife did not, though.
Right.
I brought this up to her, and she said exactly what you said. No, I think he's figuring it out as the memories happen. But it's vague enough.
You could make an argument for both of them. I didn't think
that.
Because it could be that. So the argument people will say is, well, when we see that scene, he kind of like drops to his knees. He has the scene where he's sitting there and he's definitely affected. Mm-hmm. You could make the argument that is either he's remembered in that moment, mm-hmm. or B, he knows the entire time and it's just kind of like hitting him. That
culmination.
Because that would be, I accomplished it. You could make it, because then you think about the emotions. He would be like, I did it and I accomplished it, but I left a coward.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So that could be hitting him there too, mm-hmm. and not be this thing he remembers. But that's more in all the problem with the movie is because
it's vague enough to leave it open to interpretation.
Is. Yeah.
And I interpreted it that he did know in some of those moments where he said, Rocky says, you're really brave, and he types it in. So I thought he did know, and that's why he was kind of mopey about it. He kind of hung his head and was like, no, it's just dumb, because he thought I was a coward. So I thought that twist kind of changed how I looked at that, as far as like, oh, wow, in that moment.
The whole time he knew.
In that moment, the reason he hung his head was because he knew he was a coward. That's how I took it. but Audra did
not that way though, because obviously, but I'm saying I'm agreeing that from just the movie, I agree with you that it could be like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's to me is the,
they probably should have they could have better paired present and flashbacks to he is discovering certain things to be more poignant.
So here's the issue with the movie versus the book on the twist aspect. The book hammers home this dichotomy between
remembering.
This dichotomy in the twist between, because there's two things that happen. I never wanted to go, and I was betrayed. And I'm not the person I thought I was the entire time.
Yeah.
Those two things PEMDAS and reverberate through the rest of the book.
Yeah.
Whereas in the movie, it does not.
No.
It is so fast. So to your point about thinking that I thought he remembered the entire time, it does play like that. Like the movie doesn't really change at all if he knows everything from waking up.
No, it just visually shows
nothing.
It just visually shows us as the audience context. Right. That's all.
He has no different conversation with Rocky if he getting the memory dispersed throughout the time, and he has takes no different actions.
No,
potentially.
No.
I mean, you could maybe make the argument because so what I say is
we need it as an audience, but it doesn't change the movie.
Yes, sure. My point about the book, here's the only argument against that. You could say, which would be like, what I like about it is about so my argument of being in favor of doing it where he remembers it going on, like in spurts, is like, would he have done the mission if he knew that up front? In the book, I would tell you absolutely not. I don't know. In the movie, kind of reframing my mind, I struggle to maybe think that.
The only part in the movie, though, is they talk about picking the right person to do it. And at the end, like, he's got that like video that he sends back to them to where in the movie I could see, let me back up and say it this way. In the movie, if he knows from the get-go, I think they portray his character enough to where he would still go through with the mission because he knows I'm the only one that can do it.
No, right.
Because by the end of it, he is kind of giving this sense of like, I did still step up, even though I do know I'm a coward because I have to do this. So I think it could still work in the movie context. Obviously, I didn't read the book, for him to just still do it, even if he knew from the get-go. I think he would. You're thinking maybe he would.
In the book, I could maybe make an argument that he might not have done it.
He might not do it, yeah.
He might have just like tried to go home or something like that.
Because they pitch so much about like when he finds out that he's going to have to go no matter what, and he runs, and he says like, and I can't remember the line, but he says something along the lines of, "You betrayed me," and she said, "No, I believe in you." And so they set up this like, we know you're the right guy to do this. You may not know it, but we know it. So I think whether he knew it or not, he would still go through the mission in the movie context.
In the book too, it's so good, dude. In the book, you have to, so the coma, because it's a 4-year long induced coma, you have to, they have to test the pilots to see who can survive going into hibernation.
Dang.
And because it's extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
And they test people to see who's the most likely. They have to have a certain gene sequence to like potentially survive it.
Dang.
And they tested Rylan without his knowledge. So that's why. So that was like the main reason, like they were like, you need to go because you know the mission and you're physically capable.
Yeah. Do you?
I was hard. I mean, props to the movie because I knew the twist when they tackle him to the ground and sedate him. I was heartbroken.
Oh, I was too. Yeah.
I was heartbroken just because it's like, oh my gosh, it's so sad.
Yeah, in the moment where like he's looking at Carl.
My gosh.
Carl's
Marcus from The Bear.
Marcus, yes. Their stuff early on is great. When they're building the box for the, what is it called? Astrophage? Astrophage. When they're building when they're building the box for the astrophage and they're like in Lowe's and stuff, all of that is so fun. I love all that stuff. It's funny though, because they do set up very early on that, and they do it in a comedic way, that they definitely view him as expendable. There's the fun line where he's like, he's like, do you guys even care? Like, I'm expendable. And she like looks back and they, he's like, well, we would prefer if you didn't die. They definitely are thinking that this guy's expendable. So you kind of have like some seed throughout it. So if you picked up on that enough, it wouldn't be as big of a surprise maybe when they kind of like betray him per se, because it is the government. They're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's life and death for the
going
planet.
into the exposition dumps. The fact that there's no return trip isn't something like he just remembers. It's something he figures out through like calculating the fuel, the food.
Yeah.
He kind of puts together that like, oh yeah, I'm not going back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's not something just told to him, you know?
Yeah.
So there's so much like that where there's these little things, and I just think, why not just have that? Wouldn't it have been cool to have him figure that out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and just break down, like realizing
or
that,
something like Rocky talking about.
They sent me out and I didn't, and there's no return trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. For him to remember that, like, that would be a heartbreaking
moment. But
like,
he's right. But in the book, yeah, I mean, for sure, I see why you think this. In the book, he like you do the chapter where it's playing out as the flashback, and then it's the next part is him like reflecting on remembering that in the book, right? And so there's so much inner dialogue of like, I'm the guy, I've got to do this. This is me. I'm the one. I chose to be here. I need to do this. And then the reveal that he never even wanted to do it. And he said no. And they drugged and betrayed him. And he wasn't this person he thought he was. Is so good.
He thought he was the brave one to step up.
Right. And because of all of the dialogue, inner dialogue they're having in the book, it just hits way harder.
Yeah.
And, oh, man. But here, I don't know if you have this where you like, things get introduced to you and you think about the possible uses of this concept. Mm-hmm. I started this book with our friend Sean, and when we started it, first chapter, he had amnesia, and I said he didn't want to go. That's why he
did. You really?
From the get go, because I was like, there's a reason he has amnesia. There's some sort of point to that, like, and it's gonna be like he didn't want to go on the trip. I didn't know like but the reveal of like. All like getting like I don't know, but like when
that twist happened in the book where you found out that he was drugged and put into a coma and forced on the trip, did that not hit like hard? Because I can only imagine just like reading that, spending the time in a book, and then getting to that point and that realization just
I had thought it. I had been thinking it for so long.
I guess if you picked
so
it up,
the emotion was a little different. It was like, I'm right.
Yeah.
It was more like pride. The movie hit me, like made me feel it.
I felt it in the movie because again, they pitch it as much as like, you are the guy for this. You're the guy to figure out, how to breed them. You're like they keep just saying like, we believe in you. Like you just got to step forward and do this. That I was like, oh, eventually he's going to just step up and be the one. So for him to cower, I was like, oh shoot, how is this going to happen? So that twist I didn't see that happening because I felt like they were setting up that he was, you just got to believe in yourself. You can do this. You're the guy for the job. I did not think that was how that was going to play out. So it hit me hard. I was like, oh God, I was on my knees. I was like, no freaking way. Like that's crazy. Which props to the movie. I mean, that was fantastic how they really laid that out and set it up for him. So
what, when I read the book too, Ethan, the Barkers, Barker, he was like, read it. I'm not gonna tell you anything about it. Just read it.
Just read it. Yeah.
And I didn't. So smart. And I'm like, okay. Didn't even know it was about. I didn't know it was about space. Didn't know anything about it. And he was just. And so when I'm like, oh, we're in space? What? and then the flashback happens like. He's a teacher? Like, what was happening? Like, and so it was just from the get go. And then when Rocky showed up, oh, aliens! Like, that's it was crazy. Wild. I couldn't get over it. Like, it was just the best thing ever. Like, and so I was pretty upset in the trailer that they showed Rocky because it's kind of a, you know, it's nowhere within the synopsis of the book or like obvious that there's an alien that's going to show up.
No, not at all.
So
if they didn't show Rocky in the trailers, no marketing material with like him as a puppet, like any of that stuff, and that was a reveal, when that ship shows up, that would have been mind blowing. That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
It kind of was. I knew going in, and it still kind of was, but like, can you imagine if they did not show that? That would have been insane.
I know it's the way to experience the story, in my opinion, is to not know anything.
Because everything that they set up so far, like before you get to the alien ship arriving, is it feels very, you know, realistic, like based in science and like all these new concepts, but it's all explained to you very realistically. So you can kind of believe that this trip is just going to happen to save the world. And then an alien shows up and it's like, what?
No, I mean, reading the story for the first time, not knowing anything about it, it's just like a story. It's like The Last Jedi, but all the twists are really good. Because it's like I'm in space. It's literally I'm in space. What? I'm a teacher. No return trip. Like all the reveals just throughout the twists over time, and then Rocky, which is like. You're a decent way into the book when Rocky shows up. And so then no return trip, sun's going out, and then like this goes wrong, the Talmiba get loose, this is that, like all of that just stacked on, just twist after twist after twist after twist. So like it's funny when I was listening to people review the movie, be like the big twist of the movie, and I'm like, it's funny, I don't even think about it. I just think of the whole movie as being just like blowing my mind, changing my expectations.
Yeah.
All right, talk about major positives real quick. So the Rocky Ryland Grace relationship. Fantastic. I mean, what duos compare? We want to go Mandalorian Grogu?
Yeah. So I was thinking about this today. The ones that came to mind for me was so of course, Ryland Grace and Rocky. You've got Mandalorian and Grogu.
Dunk and Egg.
I don't know about that. I'm thinking more I'm thinking human to alien.
Well, no, we can do Dunk and Egg. It's a similar
type. That it out a lot, I guess.
It's a similar thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Here's what I was thinking. Let me pitch it this way, okay? I was thinking Grace and Rocky, Lilo and Stitch, Mandalorian and Grogu. I was thinking of Haley Steinfeld's character in Bumblebee and E.T. As far as like human to alien relationships, I thought of like those 5. Like, where would that rank on that?
Not The Offspring. To Ava. No, what's her name?
What? Huh?
Isabella Marced to The Alien Offspring. The Offspring.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. That's probably number 1 for me.
That's a number 1 for me. It's like 3.
Really? It's at 3?
Probably.
That chemistry they have together when he's like looks like he's going to
when he's getting the milk.
And he's getting the milk. Yeah, that's just, I mean, that's cinema right there. Absolute cinema. That's awful. I don't know. It's really fun. It's emotional. I mean, it probably ranks pretty high up there.
Well, Rocky.
I think it's better than Mandalorian and Grogu. The emotional connection is better than Mandalorian and Grogu. Mandalorian and Grogu works because he at first doesn't really care. Like he's very much like, I'm a lone wolf, and he slowly warms up to him.
It's so obviously Grace and Rocky, because when Luke came and got Grogu, what were we doing? We were like, heck yeah, train as a Jedi. Now we're gonna get the Taking Back Mandalore with their let's go. And then in Project Hail Mary, we're like, no, don't separate.
Don't do that. Yeah, when he like saves him and they go back to Iridian, I'm like, yes, stay with him.
When Rocky and Grace are like on Iridian together, we're like, heck yeah. Yes. But Mando and Grogu, I'm like, well, come on, Kathleen. Gosh dang, I get you want to sell toys.
Yes, but
let's have him train with Luke, please.
Yes, come on. He doesn't have to come back right now. Give us a season without him. That's fine. Yeah, I think it's they have a sweeter connection. You know, they just have like a more emotional connection, and that kind of like, I don't want to say like camaraderie because I think they do too, but it's just like, it's that like deep seated like friendship.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Mandalorian and Grogu is like dad to son, kind of like just protective. So it's different, but I do think it's better.
Better than Lilo and Stitch?
I don't know, man. Ohana. Like,
Ohana means family. Well, not the live action.
Wait, what does it mean in the live? I can't remember.
Nothing. It's different.
You just mean it's just different.
No, yeah.
Oh man, that's tough. It's fun like Grace and Rocky.
Well, okay, so Grace and Rocky, Lilo and Stitch. How would you compare? Which is a better duo?
So Grace and Rocky is more fun. Their banter's better.
I was gonna say, but Grace and Rocky save the world, but that's kind of also true for Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They're both fun.
They're both fun. I think I felt similar. More. They really are.
Dang.
It's kind of crazy.
I'm kind of like really struggling to like find an answer.
Because again, it's that just deep seated friendship that like he doesn't have anyone. Lilo feels like she doesn't have anyone in that moment. Like, that's the connection that they've been looking for. I mean, they tell Grace, you have no immediate family. You have no, like, you're perfect for this mission because you're isolated and you're a loner, basically. And Rocky was that connection he needed. Lilo needed Stitch in that moment. So they're very, very similar. Rocky and Grace might be a little more fun, though. Their banter's too good. I
think I like Rocky and Grace a little bit more.
I think just a little bit more. The emotions when Rocky, you don't know if he's died or not. It's just I can't so say intense.
That. I'm gonna decide here. I'm gonna go Lilo and Stitch. Actually,
I think I'll go Rocky and Grace. I think I felt like more emotional connection. It's hard because I'm trying to like separate like kid me who just loved Lilo and Stitch.
No,
I still love
I'm assuming you haven't watched Lilo and Stitch and then the sequel movies in a while.
I've watched them all. I love Lilo and Stitch. I watched the show, but it's been a long time.
Yeah. So
I've watched the first one recently. I haven't watched the sequels probably since like high school.
I'm not going to be willing to say that, but yeah, it's excellent. Excelente.
It is good. And it would beat out some of the other ones.
Yeah. Real quick, I did want to talk about, so the ending is different.
In the book?
Yeah, I want to talk about a positive. Well, sorry, not the ending is different, but there's an aspect of the ending that is different, and I wanted to talk about so in Project Hail Mary. This is by far my favorite change they made in the movie that is different from the book. Sorry, and that specifically is going to be. Heck yeah, Leighton just saw it. Project Hail Mary and said it's cinema. I agree. You agree with that statement? Project Hail Mary is absolute cinema?
Absolutely.
Cinema?
Cinema.
Simina? Simina? Okay.
I agree. Have you seen the gameplay?
Isn't that so funny that we're willing to be like, Project Hail Mary, absolute cinema, it's a masterpiece. 8 out of 10. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know. I'm just so conflicted. Like, it's just not perfect.
Yeah, it's not just perfect, but it feels very right for me to have it at an 8 out of 10.
I agree.
Like, I was conflicted. Like, should I give it like an 8.5 if I want to get nitty gritty? But like, if I'm just going to give it a number, that pacing, you just feel it. That's the only thing. Everything else is fantastic. It's great. But yeah, I would say it's cinema. I think it is cinema.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the great sci-fi. Like, if I'm putting it in the conversation with Interstellar, if you love Arrival, even The Martian, another Andy Weir novel. I love The Martian.
It's definitely better than The Martian.
I think they're both about an 8 out of 10.
I think this movie's way better than The Martian.
So you would give The Martian like a 7 out of 10?
No, I'd probably give it... Sorry. No,
you have to... Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I misspoke. I like it way better than The Martian. But I agree with you. They're both probably 8 out of 10.
I think they're both pretty. I like this one more.
That's what I'm saying. I just like it way more.
Yeah, it's just easier. It's a more accessible than The Martian, but The Martian is great in its own way because of just how isolated Matt Damon is and everything he goes through. But I think they're both 8 out of 10s. But if you're putting it in that conversation, like, absolutely, I'm probably going to remember and consider this to be a really great, like, science fiction film, but there's pacing issues. I do think there's pacing issues. So I have to say it's an 8 out of 10. I can't give it a 10 out of 10. And I just don't even think I really want to give it a 9. 9's not crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that I'm trying to think of some science fiction films that I would say this is better than. Interstellar's better. Arrival's definitely better. Well, they're both definitely better. Have you ever seen Arrival?
Yes, very good.
Fantastic. What are some other ones? I haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey in a while. I need to revisit that one. But obviously people hail that to be one of the greats.
I'm trying to find other titles here, so I'm kind of omitting that aren't a part of a major franchise,
like Star Wars.
So my pick is probably going to be Interstellar, personal favorites. So I'm willing to be like Project Hail Mary's at 2. Number 1's Interstellar. Project Hail Mary at 2, just because I'm going to like that movie more than Arrival. I just am. Like, Arrival's way better in terms of the reveal and everything. But did you rewatch Arrival?
Not recently, but I've seen it many times.
I rewatched it and I just think it lost the sauce of the reveal. Like, it's not as fun.
But the emotional aspects of that reveal still hit every time.
Yeah, but I know it.
I know, but
so there's nothing that's that fun enough to know outside,
to be a personal favorite.
Yeah, but to outside of just trying to figure out what the language is. Whereas like Project Hail Mary, there's the twist, but you enjoy watching Rocky and Rylan, which has no effect or bearing on the twist. Like, that's going to be fun every single time.
Yeah.
Whereas to me, when I rewatched it, I'm like, it's still really good. I'm just comparing, I want to watch Project Hail Mary again. I probably won't watch Arrival unless there's somebody who hasn't seen it.
Gotcha.
We're not including Tenet. We're not including Avatar.
No. I'm trying to think of just similar.
Just in terms of ratings, it's way over Arrival.
And it's wow.
It's actually science fiction according to scores.
On what? Give me some context here.
Just general audience ratings. Just I don't know what the
you just Googled. Okay, I got you.
Just Googled audience ratings. Number 1 is Blade Runner 2049. That's wild. And then Interstellar is 4, and Project Hail Mary is 5. But I wouldn't include those because those are part of franchises. So it's Blade Runner, Dune Part 2, Interstellar. So those are all franchise movies. So I would take those out of the independent list, and then it's Interstellar and Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
It's more fun. I think it had. When I look back at it, if the pacing was better, I almost feel like it just should be. The pacing should match the best part of the movie, which the best part is the middle part, which is the slow part, which then I think the beginning and end should be paced slow as well. So you're not sitting there kind of playing roller coaster.
If you shaved off though, maybe about 10 minutes of the middle, at some point, would the movie feel a little tighter and be paced a little bit better? Because it does slow down so much.
No, I don't know where you would cut it, to be honest, because it's because the pacing is to when the ship shows up, the slow part, to when Rocky gets hurt.
Yeah. And I don't really want to cut any of that. Which that's tough then.
So maybe you get playful with the editing and start shaving a minute off of each of those things, of each the little sequences. But I don't think you can. I
shave a minute off the dialogue, figuring out the language. Shave a little bit off of them figuring out the astrophage and kind of getting more from Cal Seta.
They exposition dumped that. I think that should be explained. That's why I'm saying if the pacing of the movie, if the whole movie was like exploring the astrophage and then the Talmiba and then all of these issues, the same as it explored the relationship with Rocky and Grace, I feel like I wouldn't have a pacing problem.
Yeah.
But it feels like we sped through all of the science and then we sped through all of the technical stuff and all of the fun little like, I'm in space, there's no return trip, to get to the Rocky stuff. And then we slowed down to really do that.
And it works then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think the rest of the movie needs to slow down a little bit. Anyway, I would rewatch it over Arrival personally, but I agree with you. Arrival's a better movie for sure. You're just gonna want to watch. You're gonna want to watch. You just said there might be the greatest science fiction duo of all time.
Yeah.
So why would you want to rewatch that over Arrival more?
If we're doing a list about rewatchability, yeah, absolutely.
That's what I've been saying.
I'm just saying my personal ranking, I would probably put Arrival above it. I really enjoy Arrival a lot.
You struggle though, not struggle, that's the wrong word. You tend to just be like, what movie is better? That's on top. As I'm like, I can looking at the enjoyment aspect of like, these are my favorites. Like I prefer Project Hail Mary, even though I'm not going to recognize that it's better. Mm-hmm. That's just you just always like that. Like
no, I do. That's just how you operate. Yeah, because it's hard because I don't know. Maybe people can kind of relate to this in some ways, but if I think a movie is really great, I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. Like Interstellar is not just like the emotional gut punch. Like it's. I love that it's like crafted so perfectly, and so I get a lot of enjoyment in experiencing that. So if I'm looking at a movie like Arrival versus Project Hail Mary, I love all the banter and the fun and the lightheartedness of Project Hail Mary. But when I'm watching Arrival, yes, I know the twist, but like I'm just enjoying the experience of like knowing what's coming. And it's just, this is so good. So like there's a level of like enjoyment in that kind of like experience on the level of like having something that's really fun. Like I find a lot of enjoyment in that. So it's hard for me to kind of separate that in some ways, because if I'm like, wow, I think Arrival is just a 5 stars, like a 10 out of 10 movie. When I'm watching it, I'm enjoying the experience of just watching how beautiful and like well crafted it is. And then I've got Project Hail Mary, which I also think is just a really great movie, but the aspect that I enjoy is just that it's fun and it's lighthearted. So I kind of almost evenly weight them, if that makes sense. Some people weight higher their enjoyment level. I kind of think I'm more kind of like balanced in that way. And I don't mean that in like a better way. I don't think I'm better because of that. So it's hard for me to say like I enjoyed this more than Arrival, because I think Arrival is just such a great movie. So I enjoy the experience of watching it. So I put more weight into that than maybe some people. Well, than you do, because like you're very. It was easier for you to say like last year, Superman was a lot higher because you just loved it and adored it. And I did too, but not as much as you. So it was lower on my list. So I haven't figured out how to like express that in words of like, because I don't want to say like, oh, I just rate movies that I think are better made higher. But in some ways I kind of do. Like, sure. But there's just a level of enjoyment I have attached to movies that I think are better made. I enjoy the experience of that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to the book just because I need to tee something up real quick. But just the book really, you just get so much time in equating, like, you know exactly what Rocky needs to eat to live and like all of the stuff, like, and how they exist with like.
Oh, they explain all of that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like
there's like, a lot more dialogue. There's a lot more dialogue.
They like need ammonia in their atmosphere, and that is like poison, obviously super like poisonous to us.
Yeah.
And like that means we could not consume any of their food because it's insanely toxic and like all of this stuff. So like. So when you get to the end, this is the difference, right? Like at the end of the movie, because of how the movie's operated, I don't question what is Ryland gonna eat while he's living on.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, you said it earlier. Iridian. What's he gonna eat? how's he gonna drink? I know they made water, but there's stuff like that. Whereas in the book, I'm like thinking logistically, like, because it's always kind of there's a level, like, you spend some time where Grace has kind of the option to go to Iridian.
Yeah.
And there is like genuine, like, well, how is he going to live there? Like, how, like, what is he going to eat? How is he going to live? Like,
yeah, I had some of those questions watching the movie.
Right. So like, but I have an answer. Do you want to know? So they don't include this in the movie. In Project Hail Mary, they're not including it in the movie, obviously, but in the book, there is a very interesting workaround to getting Grace food that he can eat. You want to know what it is?
Yeah.
They clone him, and he eats cloned meat of himself.
What?
Yeah, so he can live. He turns into a cannibal.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's literally it.
It's
the only way. It's the
because
only...
they cannot manufacture
they can't
organic meat.
No, they can't. That's what I mean in the book.
That's crazy.
They're like, everything Rocky needs to live is toxic to humans. Like there's nothing like he just can't exist in that dome. Like, it's something they hint at so much. And so that, like, genuinely, like, that's the only way, is they could clone his DNA and make beef out of it. Human meat, not beef.
But yeah.
And he eats it.
That's wild.
I know. I get why they didn't.
Can you imagine they put that in the movie?
I know, I wanted them to, because I think it's crazy.
Cuts, and he's like eating like at his house.
I would just love someone's like, that took some getting over. Like, that, I'll be honest, that was tough. But there's no humans that judge me here, so
it's fine.
Get over it.
It's like rough.
I know.
There's a lot of like, this is going to get really in the weeds here, but they say that like, oh, this is gross. They say that like cannibalism can change your physiology.
Can it really?
Mm-hmm. I've seen where they have talked about certain like tribes and people in history who did eat people, like, you know, I don't want to say practice cannibalism, but who were cannibals, that your body is not designed for that, and it can affect your physiology in a negative way.
Interesting.
And it affects your brain chemistry. So I don't know if they ever address that in the book. They probably don't.
No.
But I have seen, like, I've heard of different like scenarios where they have talked about that. Yeah, of course they didn't put that in the movie. That's wild.
Yeah.
I have a question though. Yep. So I haven't read Project Hail Mary, but I was thinking in the movie, how do the Iridians create the capsule for Grace to walk on the ship and have their like atmosphere? Do they give any kind of like lore in the book to how they like do those things, how they like craft them or like make them at all?
Yeah, on how, yeah.
So Rocky makes him the suit that he's like in, and it's very weird, but obviously it like creates oxygen for him to go on the ship. Kind of similar to the ball makes, you know, for Rocky. And I was like, they don't ever talk about that. You just kind of know that Iridians can like do these things. But I was like, maybe because I'm like a bit of a lore junkie, I would have loved to have had some like explanation to that, like some cool science fiction
like,
reason.
At what?
Not like explanation as far as like I didn't need it, but like, do they talk about like how they're able to do that at all in the book?
Yeah, I mean, so the thing with the like Rocky species is that they're like master engineers.
Okay.
So they have what's it called? The metal talmonite? Xenonite?
Xenonite, yeah.
Yeah. So the xenonite is like it's like
extremely pliable. And
it's a like they talk about in the book xenonite, like if humans had that, we would have an elevator to the moon.
Oh wow.
Stuff like that.
So they don't give you any of that in the movie.
So it's like insane material. Okay. That's like a massively
incredibly versatile.
Yeah, it's a massively responsible for the Iridians for their development and advancement.
Makes sense.
As a species.
That would have been cool if we got some lines in the movie for that, because I was like, that's an interesting concept. I love like the visualization of that. And I just had a couple times throughout, I was like, it'd be cool to know more about the Iridians and like how they're able to do this. How is he able to craft the suit for Grace and all these things?
Yeah, so like that
would have been really cool.
I think Iridians, either they have some sort of elevator to the moon, or there's a line in the book, and I'm fairly certain it's Grace going, no, it's the Iridians have an elevator that goes to the moon.
Gotcha.
To their moon. And he said, we as humans would have that if we had a material like that.
Like this, yeah. Because the only context in the movie they really use it for is for like breeding the astrophage while they're there. And
his entire ship is made out of it. His
like you can see in the movie, obviously they like build the dock and all of that. Like it's very versatile. So I do get that, but I would have loved to kind of like know a little bit more about that. I think it would have just added to the like experience of like learning more about the Iridians, because I mean they're an alien race. Like you would want to know more. About like how they work and how they advanced. I guess they showed it more visual than explanation, so that's not like a gripe. It's not like a bad thing. I just was like, I thought that was a cool concept, and I liked all of that stuff. So it would make sense that the book would like flesh it out a little bit more.
Yeah, so it's got unlimited tensile strength, and
it's probably extremely like flexible to like melt and move and do things with. Because I mean, he was like
to my knowledge, it reacts like a certain way to sound. And they produce sound to talk, and that's why they can like manipulate it like that. That's what I feel like I remember, genius. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to find confirmation, but I don't see anything. But I'm fairly certain it's like crazy. His ability to create like sound waves on his body,
so as he's
allows
talking,
him to manipulate with it.
Oh, that's so smart. Shout out Andy Weir. That's genius.
You know Andy Weir's a scientist?
Is he really?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that, but
the
I saw
science
the
in The Martian and in this movie is like
all based in
perfect.
real. Yeah.
It's like totally fallible.
I saw like a clip recently, obviously you've seen the movie, where he said all of it's based in real science. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I think it's just fun anytime you can kind of like say that and base it, but still have some of the more fun like sci-fi elements. It just adds a level of like depth to it.
All right.
Very cool.
I want to talk about my favorite change. So my favorite change about Project Hail Mary made in the movie that's not in the book. Mm-hmm. So in the movie, Rocky tells Grace that he can go home, that they can prep a return trip to home and he can go back to Earth. And in the movie, he's like, well,
he says the scientists have say your ship's ready to return home.
And he decides to stay for however long. In the book, there's no return trip. He's gonna die there, essentially.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's no return trip at all. He's gonna die there. They use like a lot of his ship to like make his living quarters and whatever. And also in the book, there's no like message he sends home. Like he just sends the
astrophage.
He just sends the stuff out, and Rocky shows. So in the movie, no one ever goes to Grace and is like, Rocky doesn't go to Grace and be like, hey, they figured it out.
You can go home,
right, or anything like that. There's nothing like that. It's like in the book, you actually Grace gets confirmation that it worked. They say, hey, the sun. It's brightening up. We did it, which is cool. I think it's cool. That's how they like, hey, your sun is getting brighter.
It's getting brighter now.
So we did it. But this is by far my favorite change they made in the movie versus in the book for Project Hail Mary. And it's the fact that he has the option to have a return trip. I really like that. And the reason I like that is just the overall message of the movie. And the theme of this movie, I think, speaks so highly, like it just applies to life so well, and everyone can like apply it to their lives. And you think about it in the macro of Grace didn't want to leave what was comfortable.
Yeah.
He was comfortable dying in 30 years just because he was comfortable.
Yeah.
And because he got pushed to go and do something way out of his comfort zone, regardless if he chose to do it or not.
Yeah.
He found something he never would have had, something greater than everything he had.
Yes.
And never would have gotten to have with his friendship with Rocky.
Yeah.
And the fact that they do offer the return trip and he turns it down, to me is just so awesome of like how many people, I could speak for myself, don't want to do something because it's going to be out of your comfort zone. I don't want to do this because it's going to be out of my comfort zone. But if you push yourself, and you kind of, brace up and you accept a no return trip or something crazy like that. Burn the ships, as it were. You might find something better than anything you had in that moment.
Yes, exactly.
So just a change about the movie that I really liked was the return ship option and him choosing to not go back. I think it's really cool.
It adds more depth to his character and more depth to the relationship between him and Rocky. Absolutely. You're right, because he wanted to stay on Earth. Why would he want to leave? Die in 30 years, but now he doesn't even want to go back.
Yeah.
So that's a huge character arc for him. That's really cool. That's cool. That's a really neat change from the book. I love that, actually.
Yeah, I've heard a few people mention there's no return trip in the book. I think it's powerful that it's not in moment. There. That it's there because just him choosing I'll just live on this. I'll live here for 30 years and live out the rest of my 30 years and die of starvation or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it hits you right in the gut. Like when he says, to Rocky, can I think about it for a while? And Rocky says, you can think about it for a long time or something like that. It's just so cool.
Do you like that he what's the name of the planet?
Iridian.
I keep wanting to say Iradans. Do you like that Grace stays on Iridian with Rocky at the end?
I do.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
Fantastic.
I've met a bunch of people who don't like that ending. They really wish he had gone back to Earth and was like the hero. And I'm like, I know you guys are wild.
They set him up.
Yeah, him so teaching much. On Iridian. Gosh, I forgot. I was about to freak out. Him teaching on Iridian is so awesome. Like, it's awesome in the book, and I think it's so awesome in the movie. Like, I think it's great. I just love where that went.
Absolutely.
I just love it.
Because they specifically tell him, you are perfect for this. You have no immediate family. You have no one. You are the man for this job. He goes out into the stars and he finds a friend. He finds that connection that he doesn't have on Earth. Why would he want to go back to Earth when he's got Rocky? So I think it makes perfect sense for him to stay because he has Rocky. He has nothing back there for him. All he's got is betrayal, and he did his job, he did his mission, and he found friendship. Stay where you're at and continue in that. So yeah, I love it. I think it's great. The classroom scene too is just, it's so fun. It's a great way to kind of end it. So yeah, I love that. I thought that was great.
All right, Parts of Hail Mary. I got some new news real quick. We can run through real quick.
Hit me.
All right. So live action Lilo Stitch Lilo and Stitch live action is getting a second movie. So we're getting a live action Lilo and Stitch 2.
Wow.
Yeah. So judging by how they adapted the first movie to live action, they're going to be adapting Stitch Has a Glitch, which is where Stitch kind of starts getting erratic and attacking Lilo and stuff, and he's dying. So one can probably only assume the natural adaptation is that Lilo takes Stitch out to the sea and caps him in the back of the head to put him out of his misery. Which is, judging on how they did the first movie and how they interpreted the first movie, I don't see them doing anything different.
Anything different, really?
You? Nope. No, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. He's going to start wigging out, and she's going to be like, wow, I'm sorry.
Let's be realistic about this.
Let's be realistic.
It's time for you.
I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to study sea turtles in Nebraska. So I think we just call it here.
Call it here.
Sorry, buddy.
Just
bang, bang, skeet, skeet.
That's all. Well, we spoiled the plot. No need to go see it.
Yep.
Don't support it. That's wild. Is it really getting a second one?
Yep.
After
it was
all
huge. It crushed.
Yeah, I guess the box office is what sells. Box office, not the reviews, the money. They follow the money. That's crazy though, because so much of the reviews and people talking about it were saying that this was such a bad adaptation, but so many people went to see it. Wow.
In other news, so we got a Spider-Man trailer. Woo. You don't seem to want them to do Man Spider, correct?
I don't think they need to.
All right. Stop talking. Is the main proponent of that is because you have a debilitating fear of spiders? Because
why did you bring this up?
Editing this last episode picked up on that.
It's awful.
Yeah, that's why you don't want them to do Man Spider. Is because you have a phobia of spiders. Yes or no?
I wasn't consciously thinking of that, but Yes.
All right. Okay.
I have a
follow-up question. When you were a little kid and you thought about the man you would become one day, was he such a...
I knew this was going to be the case. I knew from the moment I saw Spider. I have told my mom I hate her once in my life. I said, Mom, I hate you. And it was over a spider. I have a crippling fear.
All right.
It's really bad.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Question.
That brings up so much trauma.
All right. We got a Dune trailer.
We got a Dune trailer.
Dune 3. I'm
trying to... You're getting dangerously close there, buddy.
I'm married a Hawaiian girl.
You got the... Never mind, I can say that. That's funny. We got a Dune trailer, though.
We got a Dune trailer.
Yeah, we did.
And this has been the question of the week after this Dune trailer. Will Dune, with a successful third installment, become this generation's Lord of the Rings?
This generation's Lord of the Rings?
Sure.
Are we considering Lord of the Rings to be in our generation?
All right. You want me to rephrase it?
Yes, because it depends. It depends.
With the release of the Dune 3 trailer, assuming the third installment is excellent in the Dune trilogy, will Dune become better than Lord of the Rings?
No.
No, I agree. I don't. It's wild to me to think that. I just don't agree with that.
It will never reach that emotional connection and emotional punch that Lord of the Rings has.
It will never have the same cultural impact.
No, it won't.
Because
it will never be that big.
Here's why. Dune is not encouraging friendship, loyalty, leadership, like kindness, mercy. It's not encouraging any of those themes. Yeah. It might be epic. I'm not saying it's not. It's freaking sick.
Is it going to be under Lord of the Rings? Probably.
Yeah. But like it's like Dune is an epic story. It's so fun. Is it all of those things? Great visuals, great music, yes. But it's never gonna have the level of cultural impact because it's not trying to do the same thing.
No,
it is
the message is not there.
It's not there. And Lord of the Rings has the positive impact message that pushes that movie that transcends just movies, that pushes forward and applies to our lives and makes us walk different when we learn these lessons as children, make us walk different today as men.
Absolutely.
So Dune is not going to be that.
No. If we're saying, though, what are some of the greatest trilogies of all time, we're going to say Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Dune.
Dune, yeah.
It's going to be up there, but it won't ever reach, for me, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
I think Dune could potentially take Star Wars just because I think Return of the Jedi is on the weaker side. So if I
think a lot of people will say that.
Yeah. But if the third installment is like as good as 2, I'll be like, it's stronger.
If the third installment is as good as 2, I will have rated all 3 of those movies higher than the Star Wars original trilogy.
Yeah.
So then we would be going, which one's better or which one do I enjoy more? That conversation would be different for Dune. I would probably pick Star Wars maybe in the which one do I enjoy more, and Dune in that I think this is actually like technically a better trilogy, more consistent all the way through.
I just don't also because of this Dune Messiah story, I just really don't think people are going to think that. I just don't, it's not going in a direction they think. Like, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people
execution
know,
though maybe bring it up.
Right, but it's not going to it's not going to be what people want to see. And so yeah. Okay. How many people think Paul is a good guy?
Yeah. I mean, do you think the general consensus is people do so far?
I think they think Paul's like awesome.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which I think Paul's cool
and
too.
Messiah is going to play with that a lot from what you know.
Yeah.
It's going to affect what... Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say Frank Herbert had to write Dune Messiah so people knew how to properly understand Paul's character.
Wow. So it's going to definitely play not against 1 and 2, but really affect maybe how you view 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Which, if it's executed and people do like it, and it doesn't drastically change 1 and 2 too much in his character, it'll be fine. But if it plays around with it too much and it causes people to affect it, then a lot of people may not actually consider this to be one of the greatest trilogies of all time. If it's a good movie, but they don't like where they go with Paul, it may be a Star Wars Force Awakens where the first one and second one is affected because of how the third one portrays certain characters. So I don't know.
I don't think the general public will like what they do with will just like the Dune Messiah story.
But I'm confident in Denis to follow through on a vision, to maybe make some changes to really keep it coherent.
The film bros will like it. Everyone in film into film will really like it.
Yeah.
I do not think general public who's like, oh, dude, he wrote a sandworm and he did this and he fought Austin Butler. Yeah. Heck yeah, I like that movie. Yeah. We'll like what they do. But that's
interesting.
That they have to do it. It's the book. But there's just so much that's interesting here. Like, the Kwisatz Haderach, the Lisan al-Gaib, is the Bene Gesserit propaganda pushed throughout the galaxy. They put Bene Gesserit on different planets all throughout the galaxy to kind of like coax this idea of a savior, and then they're trying to bottle this blend of human that will be able to ascend and take and that they'll have control over, that will lead the galaxy, but he'll be a shill. They'll be able to control him, and everyone they hand planted this Messiah savior concept all across all of these worlds. So when they raise the correct savior, which is at one point thought to be Fade Ralpha, and then was actually, so do you know that what's her name?
Which actress? Florence Pugh?
Jessica Atreides. She was supposed to have a girl, but they have abilities to choose the gender. She was supposed to have a son.
Gotcha.
She had Paul and gave Leto a son. They say that in the movie, but she was supposed to have a daughter.
Gotcha.
And that daughter was supposed to marry Fade Ralpha, and their kid was going to be the Lisan al-Gaib, the Kwisatz Haderach. Mm-hmm. So you could take it two ways. Paul, so there was never a I lean this way. You could assume there is a prophecy. I lean this way. There's not a prophecy. It's all propaganda. It's all stirred up, made up mythology. So when they elect their leader or savior or the Kwisatz Haderach, they can control him.
Yes, absolutely.
Paul knows this. Mm-hmm. And Jessica has trained him to be the Lisan al-Gaib, but they know, the Bene Gesserit know they will never elect him. So that's why the Bene Gesserit plan to take out the House of Atreides. Mm-hmm. But when they do that, Paul realizes there's an opportunity here.
Yes.
I can pretend, I can go and take the prophecy and apply it to myself and name myself the Kwisatz Haderach, the Lisan al-Gaib, and raise and start a holy war.
Yes.
Yeah. At the expense of my family, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or to avenge my family for my house's survival. I could do that. And that's why Paul's a bad guy. Because he chooses a galactic war over his lineage, essentially, and revenge, right? He could live out on Arrakis, technically, all these things, but he's like, there's an opportunity here for me to take the prophecy, capitalize on it. I can manipulate the prophecy to apply to me because I have taken the spice melange and can have prescience and I can see. And Paul isn't the Kwisatz Haderach. He is not actually technically. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. He's not, and there is one in the Dune lineage that is the Kwisatz Haderach because Paul's prescience is limited.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's supposed to be complete transparency. So he is not He's not
truly.
No, he isn't the person there. Like he doesn't meet all the qualifications. And so that's why Paul's a bad guy, essentially, and it's because he enacted this galactic war that killed all of these people, all of these innocent people.
Over a personal selfish agenda.
Well, over the survival of his house and revenge.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what I like about his character is like the point. I see people making videos like, you guys think Paul's a good guy. He's not. Yeah, Paul's a false prophet, but also in the same sense that like, I don't think anyone would maybe do anything differently. Like I think us
to
as people,
liberate
we're
and
humans.
fight,
Like we would probably still
push against tyranny.
Yeah. So I don't think that like. I mean, yeah.
It's the natural thing to do.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
Everyone, she's all pissed off that they killed her father, even though it was completely justified.
Yeah.
And they're like, the usurper took my father's throne, da 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 da. I get it. They killed people. I understand that. But it's like, there's like a level of like acknowledgement. Yeah, that he's the Mad King.
The Mad King for a reason.
She's out there killing people in the name of taking the throne back.
Yeah.
We don't have a necessarily you don't have a necessarily problem with that. And then in this other area, Leto Atreides was a good dude.
Yeah.
He was a great guy.
Yeah. Really
awesome. And the Emperor had him killed because of the threat that he posed. Mm-hmm. And then also you have Jessica kind of forcing their hand with like bringing Paul up as the Quizak, raising him to be the Lee Sin guy.
Yeah. So it's a natural progression for him to step into that. Even if
it's like, no, is it morally correct? No, it's not. But is it understandable?
Enough. Yes.
Yeah. And is it detestable and disgusting and like I don't like Paul anymore? No,
because you can understand some of the reasoning. It's not just a selfish agenda. There is it's too complex to say that it's like kind of black or white.
Right.
It's very gray. It's very gray.
And what I mean by like they might not like his ending. He just doesn't have like a Darth Vader ending.
Gotcha. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it is probably one of the biggest third films I'm trying to think how to word it this way. They really need to freaking land this plane. Because if they don't, they will fumble. But what could be one of the greatest trilogies.
I don't think I think it's a lock not to fumble. It's not going to fumble. I am just saying I could see people not caring for the ending at all just because of what the ending is and what it represents.
So we could get a lot of 7, 8 out of 10s.
Because they don't like the ending.
Great movie, but the ending's not for me. So it's a 7.
A lot of maybe like not as intense, but Eddingtons where it's like, well, I just don't like where me and you agree from a technical standpoint. Eddington's a really made movie.
Yeah.
But people emotionally are just not with it.
Yeah. And the scores will reflect that, and the reviews will reflect that. Yeah, I think you're right though. I think Film Bros will probably really like it because it's Denis Villeneuve, and he's going to make an incredible movie more than likely. It is interesting though.
I mean, there are like 8 books that take up after this, so I mean, it's not going to end. I don't really foresee it ending satisfyingly.
Yeah.
Well, pause it. Yeah, it's just not a satisfying ending. That's maybe something I hope they change. I don't know, but if they change it, maybe they do change that. I don't know, but
it could.
I'm just assuming based on what's been done, they'll probably stay true.
Is it a fairly vague ending or
knowing that they're doing
anything be left to interpretation? Here's what I'm thinking. I haven't read the book.
So knowing that they are also doing Children of Dune,
they are definitely.
I from what they're adapting parts of Children of Dune. I think you need to do that because in Dune Messiah, I could just tell you, but I don't really want to.
My thought is if they leave it to interpretation, it's going to be fine.
Dune Messiah leaves Paul off heavily to interpretation. Children of Dune concludes the story.
I think leave it up to interpretation. Okay. I think it will be more palatable.
They're doing Children of Dune because of Jason Momoa's kids. Jason Momoa's son is Paul's son, Leto.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So they are doing Children of Dune.
If they can, I don't know. My thought is if it's vague and left to interpretation, I think an audience will palate it a lot better.
Sure.
Generally. The conversation personally will vary based on how you kind of like and what you think it could mean. But from a general aspect, people will like it more. It won't be a clear black and white ending that people can choose to like or dislike. So I think they shouldn't leave it up to interpretation. That's what I would think.
Dude, there's so much I wonder if they're going to do.
I don't know. I mean, I've just heard a lot of people saying, I don't know how you're going to pack it all into one movie. I mean, is this movie going to be 4 hours long? It's over 3, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. Like there's stuff with Aaliyah and like her descent. I have no idea how they're going to manage that.
Yeah.
Because she there's the DNA memory transferring that they have with prescience, with the prescience, and Aaliyah's prescient. That's why that she can talk to Jessica in the womb, which is oh my gosh, the book is just crazy.
Crazy.
They get all of their memories of all their DNA memories, right? When they get the spice melange. Right. So like you have these kids who are like know all of this stuff. It's crazy. It's wild. And she's like, but yeah, like the Baron being Jessica's grandfather or Jessica's father.
Yeah.
And the Baron's Jessica's father. And then Aaliyah's prescience, like there's like conversations they have through
that's cool
through like mental DNA, like personal, like because they can access that the
consciousness of
the consciousnesses
that
of they can access it and talk to them.
It's Assassin's Creed.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, I remember in Children of Dune, Leto has conversations with conversations with Paul through that.
Wow. That's interesting.
It's like wild.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I know how my father would feel on this because I talked to him with it.
That's wild.
It's such a crazy, like, it's wild what the Kwisatz Haderach could be.
Can actually do. Yeah. It's cool. I'm not going to read the book. I want to go in this fresh.
Do you want to know who the true Kwisatz Haderach is? And there's no way they do it because it's like 9 books later.
You don't think they'll do it in this movie?
It's like 9 books later, so no.
Ooh. Yeah, then go ahead, because I don't think I'm
Duncan, Idaho.
What?
Duncan, Idaho ends up being the true Kwisatz Haderach in like...
How do they connect that?
In like 3,000 years and past the existence of Paul.
Whoa.
Because he's a Mentat.
Yeah.
And so Mentats, you can bring them back, but they start over. But Duncan, he is like... immortal in the sense that his consciousnesses are transferring
as he's being
so he lives forever, essentially.
That's crazy.
And he eventually becomes the true Kwisatz Haderach. But that's not Frank Herbert. That's his kid who wrote that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So they won't do that in this movie.
No, absolutely.
That'd be crazy.
I would be shocked.
There's no way. Insane. I don't know. I'm excited though. The trailer looks good.
Heck yeah.
Looks really good.